Hi, Okin. Welcome to Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions. How are you today?
Hi, Sarah. I'm good. How are you doing? And thank you for having me.
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm looking forward to this, I have to admit. Before we get started, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, no problem. My name is Okin or Nikolai Tjongarero. That's my government name, my official name. I'm from Namibia. I'm a Bitcoin only maximalist. I am an educator and I'm a true lover of Bitcoin. I run nodes, I run Bitcoin miners, and I just try to show people the benefits of Bitcoin. I'm the founder of EasySats and Bitcoin Mining Namibia, where the latter we help bring people Bitcoin miners if they request. We just source them from China directly from manufacturers. And
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I'm everywhere. It's got a lot of energy for Bitcoin, basically.
yeah, I see that on Twitter. So I'll just go over, it's true. I follow your tweets. So I'll just go over the format quickly. The whole goal is to answer 21 questions in 10 minutes. It's
We
supposed to
can do it.
reflect the time it takes to mine a block since you're involved with mining. But obviously, sometimes the hash rate isn't that high. And we can't get through the questions in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, do you have any questions for me?
How's the weather over there? How's your side of the world?
You know what? I think so. Based in Geneva. I think we're going to have sunshine and like 20 degrees, maybe even 25 between now and Sunday. It's been raining for the past like week and a half, I want to say. So the
Wow.
sunshine is very much welcome.
Well, send the rain our way. We would love it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to visit Namibia so badly, like very badly. It's gorgeous all the time.
Awesome.
Okay,
Awesome.
let's get to it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Ready?
Um, I'm ready.
First question. Up. I'll start the timer just before I read the first question.
Okay.
Oh, and timer go. Last year, the Bank of Namibia made a request for input on the implementation of a CBDC. You crafted a well thought out response. How did the Bank of Namibia respond to you?
They didn't. They didn't respond at all. There wasn't a reply email, nothing. They just accepted what we said and they not even a confirmation of acceptance, to be honest with you.
Well, you did a good job
That's
with your letter. You read it.
for me, writing that letter was more about making sure that they were aware of what has already
Yeah.
happened with other CBDCs in the world, and also the pitfalls of CBDCs. Because maybe they were just looking at somebody came in and just told them the good things for government, good things for the central bank, but maybe they didn't look at the pitfalls and the dangers that come with CBDCs as well. So that's why I wrote it the way I also wrote it.
It was well done.
Thank you.
How many languages do you speak?
English. I suck at languages. I'm really bad at languages. Most of my life, I've only spoken English. I understand a bit of German. Well, I understand a lot of German because I went to a German school. I understand some French and some Afrikaans. But
Oh,
yeah, that's about it,
very nice.
which is bad.
Next question. So, you have posted regularly about setting up nodes on different devices. Which educational resource would you recommend to someone setting up a node?
Truly curiosity. I would say
Hmm.
curiosity is your best friend when it comes to setting up a node. Because at the beginning, like I did it because again it was my orange pilling process, and I did it more in a sense of how can I monetize my podcast at the time, and you had to be
Yeah,
running your own Bitcoin node and a Lightning node at that as well. So what I used at the time was Umbrel because it was just the easiest to just set up,
yeah.
and you could do it on DIY hardware. And then we just kept moving and moving and moving until I found Start 9 Labs, and now that's just where I'm at. But yeah, I'd say YouTube BTC Sessions has a great video.
Yeah.
If you like to read, look for K on Twitter. It's at K, the number 3 TAN, Katan. He's Ministry of Nodes. There's also videos on YouTube of Ministry of Nodes, but he has written guides on that. and at Parmanode on Twitter as
Yeah,
well. And he has a website up all about like different things in Bitcoin, but really great guides from all three of those guys on how to set up nodes. And Cole from South Africa, yeah, he's got some great ones too.
very nice. Lots of resources. Okay, next question. Where do you see Bitcoin in Namibia in the next 4 years? So by the time of the next halving.
Hopefully, by then I would have
Hopefully.
gotten enough people using Bitcoin, not just knowing about it,
Yeah.
but actually using it, utilizing it, either for savings or day to day, that it becomes like second nature. For everybody not to use it would be like, why would you pay point of sale machine charges when you can just use your phone? So
Mm-hmm.
that's hopefully where I see it in the next 4 years. So my goal is to get every township in Namibia to utilize and hold Bitcoin so that they become the suburbs in the next 4 years, technically, or the next
Yeah.
10 years. So yeah, that's what I see it as. Hopefully.
So during your MBA, you spent time in China. What are some key takeaways that you've retained from the experience?
Wow. I really love Chinese food, firstly. Like I found that out there. I was addicted. I was 120 kgs when I came back from China. I'm 83 now. So like
Oh,
84. Yeah.
wow.
So it was a lot of eating. But what I found out is you don't have to understand the language to communicate with people. And
Mm-hmm.
um and everybody's just human, like, and people are literally just humans. Everybody wants love, everybody wants to have a good time, everybody wants to leave a legacy and add value, so traveling taught me that. So while I was in China, I really learned that Chinese people are firstly awesome. They're funny as hell, and
Yeah.
they like to party, yo. They like to party.
Yep. Okay. How were you orange pilled?
Oh, so that crazy story. The guy that got it right was trying from 2012, and I was not listening. I was like, bro, just hit record, man. We're in studio. So Becoming Full, who actually is the owner of Landifa.com, which is an on-off ramp, the first on-off ramp for Namibia to buy and sell your Bitcoin through. He was the first one with a license to do so from the Bank of Namibia, and he helped the central bank craft the legislation around Virtual Assets Act. So they literally just kept calling him and being like, "Yo, what's your input on this? What's your input on that?" And that's why our Virtual Assets Act is also written in a bit differently than other people's. So he was trying in 2012 while we were recording music. And then in 2019, I was sending my brother money in Dubai, Western Union. I tweeted it out, and he was like my frustrations with the costs and everything. And he was like, "Bro, I told you
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin." And I was like, "You know what? Just tell me how this thing works, man." He gave me a phone call. Half an hour later, I had purchased Bitcoin. I sent it to my brother. He was like, "How'd you do that?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I'm gonna find out." And that's literally how I was orange pilled.
From 2012.
Yeah, all the
Takes
way to
time.
2018, 19. It took like 5 years, 7 years almost for me to get
Takes time.
actually on it. Yeah.
Okay, so this question will not pertain to you because you speak English, but if you can remember some German, how do you say Bitcoin fixes this in another language or in German?
In Afrikaans, it would be Bitcoin maakt het recht, or that's almost like Dutch. Or what would it be in German? Uh, yeah, also the same almost. Bitcoin. Now there's another word for fix. I can't remember what it is in German. But yeah,
Bitcoin
so
macht
Bitcoin
het,
maakt het recht is the Afrikaans one.
Bitcoin macht het recht.
Like so Mark is M-A-A-K, I believe, and then Dut is D-I-T, and the Reg is just R-E-G. So it's Mark Dut Reg.
Maak dit recht,
Reg, yeah.
kind of.
You were there, you got it.
Kind of. Okay, so you mentioned music earlier. Can you tell
Yeah.
me more about Black Vulcanite, please?
Yeah, so Black Vulcanite was actually was weird how we started that. So I'm real old school friends with one of the rappers called Ali That Dude, and he's old school friends with Mark Mushiva. And I'd finished studying my honors degree in Cape Town, and I got it from the University of Greenwich. So when I finished there, I got a call from Ali, and he was like, "Yo, I know you're coming to work in Namibia. What?" And this was 2012, and he was like, "Myself and this guy recorded a track, and we'd like to like get a poem on the end, and I think it'd be great to do the poem. Would you come do it?" And I'm like, "Fine, let's check it out, man." And we sat down. They spat their verses, and I was like, "No, I have a poem for that." And then I gave the poem, and they were like, "Yo, this is hard. We should maybe like do more." And so we recorded actually on the 17th of May 2012, because it's my mom's birthday. That's how I remember the date. We recorded the first track of Black Vulcanite, which was I Hope They're Right as a group. That was off the first album. That was the first track we recorded. And then yeah, so basically it was just, you know, three guys from totally different walks of life. Mark is a computer engineer, computer scientist. Now he's Dr. Mark Mushive. He got his PhD. He's a skateboarder by nature. Ali, that dude, is basically, man, the guy just knows a ridiculous amount of stats about sports, like all sports, basketball, football. He's just really crazy with it. And he can rap in different, like, not just cadences, but different. I call him the man of 1,000 tongues. He's like, he just has different flows. It's crazy.
Wow.
Mark's a genius, if you're gonna find one. And then I'm a poet by nature, right? I'm a published poet, internationally written and spoken, anthologies and stuff like that. So we just threw everything together, and we just kept going and going. And then we signed a record deal, and we ended up in Rolling Stone magazine, and we toured, and we went to South Africa, and then we won awards. I think I still have the award here somewhere. I think I gave it to Ali. But yeah, we have won awards. We created a vinyl. This is the vinyl. I think that's what I have.
Show
This is
us.
the vinyl we made. We got it shipped from France. Yeah, I mean from Finland. Sorry, yeah, came from there, and we just kept going with Black Vulcanite. Then we released the second album in 2015. Takes us about three years or so, and that one was almost a double disc. It was 20-something tracks called Black Colonialists, and then we released that. I think it was August or something, or July. We released that, and then I left to China, like literally a month later, and we couldn't tour. Because I was in China, Mark left to Germany to go further his studies. Ali was studying over here in Namibia, and then he started working in media. So yeah.
That's the timer. It's partially my fault because that's 10 minutes. It goes by really, really quickly. Okay, we could chill now and like indulge.
Okay. We thought we were gonna make it until we did the music one. But yeah, that was
so I just happened to catch the Waveflake tweet yesterday, and I listened, and the first track, I'm like, why have I never heard this song? Like, this song is dope. What is it? Black Future Computer. Yeah, Black Future Computer. And I'm like, oh my God. And I put it on repeat like so many times. And then I listened to it on Fountain because I had to like zap you guys like 500 sats or whatever. But that song is dope. I mean, if you guys are watching this, you need to check out Black Vulcanite. Dope. I mean, nostalgic for me, the sound, but well done.
Yeah, we like those, you know, 90s boom bap beats type of, you know, where you can really give a message, and the beat itself is a message at the same time. So yeah, no, it was just great times with Black Vulcanite, man. We actually just had a conversation this morning, all three of us.
Please come back. Okay,
well,
next question.
You're not the only one that's asked, I won't lie.
well, clearly you've got an audience. Dope. Okay, what are your thoughts on the recent series of arrests in the Bitcoin space?
I think it was inevitable. I think Bitcoiners forgot that this is not a kumbaya party where people are just gonna say, "Oh, thank you for disrupting how we've been making money this entire time." So I think it was inevitable, but I think it takes Bitcoiners standing up and saying, "You know what? I'm willing to fight for this." When we say this is the hill I'm willing to die on, then if court and the judges come around and the police, then it's supposed to be known. You know, that's the whole point of why we do what we do, is so that we can show people, even in the face of that, they can't take your Bitcoin. Even in the face of you going to jail, right? Unless you decide to give up these digital property rights, it cannot be taken from you. And things like that, I think we should have expected happening a bit sooner. But yeah, I mean, some of them were a bit self-inflicted. Others totally unwarranted. I mean, all of them I think are basically unwarranted. But again, we're fighting a war. This is not a this is not a picnic.
Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so moving on slightly. Hard war softness when it comes to family. You've mentioned your nieces a few times on Twitter or X.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll be orange pilled when they grow up?
Oh, my warrior nieces? Definitely already orange pilled. Like, so kids
Eh,
are,
eh?
I don't even know if we should call it orange pilling anymore. I think it's just showing them utility. I was driving my
Mhm.
nieces to their mom's house, and I don't know how we got on the topic of Bitcoin. They asked me something, and I was like, you know that Bitcoin that I keep sending you guys, like in your spending wallets or whatever, and you know you guys play Roblox, right? They're like, yeah, of course we play Roblox. I'm like, you know you can buy the Roblox money with Bitcoin. What? They literally started yelling at me, and I'm like, okay, relax. You can even use mine. There's like a Minecraft server that runs Bitcoin. Also, they're like, wait, Uncle Nico, are you serious? I'm like, yes, my girls. You can use Bitcoin for things like that as well. So for kids, it's all utility. Like it's the same way
Yeah.
I got orange. I didn't start using Bitcoin because becoming full was really great at telling me all of its use cases. No, I started using it because of a use case, one use case, which was I am spending a ridiculous money at Western Union, sending money via Western Union. And the use case was you don't have to do that anymore or wait the time frame. And boom, like so for kids, the use case is do you have to ask your parents money to play Roblox? Yes. Well, you don't. You can play another game, earn Bitcoin, buy Roblox, and enjoy yourself. Like use cases. So yeah, no, they're already basically there. Like my nieces tell other people. Oh, the one kid was like, "Yeah, Bitcoin is a scam," and then my niece is like, "No, it's not. My uncle took us for pizza, and did your mom is like she's out there telling this kid about how we're paying for pizza with Bitcoin, and your mom don't know what she's talking about, bro." And I'm like, this is amazing. So yeah,
Kids, boy. Once they
yeah,
know,
they're
they
awesome.
know.
Correct.
Okay, so for those of us who are unfamiliar with Namibia, what are three things we should know?
Oh, awesome. I love talking about my country. So, you can see the entire Big Five. So that's the from lions,
Oh, yeah.
zebras, the giraffes, all of those animals are in Namibia, right? And you can see them on safari. But here's something a lot of people don't know. If you drive in certain places of the north, you can just see them. Like there's just a giraffe running there. And you're just like, hey, look, it's a giraffe. Like, right? So that's number one. Number two, that most people don't know, you said, or should
Yeah,
know.
don't know. Or
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
should know, should know. What should they know?
Should know you can sit in the oldest desert and look straight into the ocean. There's literally a road that separates one of the oldest deserts in the world and one of the biggest oceans in the world. You can run from the dune into the ocean, right? So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, there's like a whole coast where it's called the Skeleton Coast, and it's called that because ships used to get shipwrecked because there wasn't a thing to tell them, hey, there's land here. They just go straight into the
Oh,
freaking desert.
yeah.
Yeah, it's by us. It's a national or heritage site or whatever. So that's number two. Number three, we have the best meat in the world that you're going to taste. Forget Argentinians lying to you guys. Okay, I know they're voted number one, but it's us and them. Okay, this is the battle. Okay, of meat. Biltong is better here. South Africans can jump up and down as much as they want. They know it's the truth. The biltong isn't good. Ours is great. It's amazing.
Eh,
Namibian
eh?
meat is where it's at.
Those are
Yeah.
fighting words. Master Guantai was saying that the meat in Kenya is really good as well. Yeah.
Nah, I've been to Kenya. Nah, my brother-in-law's Kenya. Nope, nope, nope. Y'all gotta come to Namibia. Come get the realness, right? All right.
Master Guantai, do you hear that? This is a challenge. I say we organize a meat tour, Namibia, Kenya, and a few other places.
Let's do it. Let's do a meet off. We winning,
A
man.
meat off.
I'm not scared.
A meat off. Okay, so what's one of the biggest misconceptions that Westerners or people living in the global north, or however you want to categorize it, what's one of the biggest misconceptions that we have about Africans?
That you can save them. That Africans need to be saved by Westerners. So it's a very big misconception. We just need Westerners to stop meddling in African affairs and we'll save our damn selves.
Just leave them alone.
Let us do us, man. We'll be all right.
Pretty simple. Okay, you talked about this a little bit, but how has living in a different country informed your perspective on Bitcoin? Just to recap, you've lived in, so obviously Namibia, China. Oh, the thumbs up is coming up. I didn't know that. Anyways,
What? Is that right?
Namibia,
No, what about my side?
does it work for you?
No.
Okay, you've lived in Namibia, China.
Mhm.
You
South
studied in a
Africa.
German school. Was that in Namibia or in Germany or
But that was in Namibia.
in Namibia? So you've
Mhm.
lived in at least two countries.
Three.
How is
South
that
Africa
three
as well.
countries and
Yeah.
South Africa? How has
Mhm.
that changed your perspective on Bitcoin?
Well, when you travel, firstly, traveling always opens your mind, to like different people's experiences. But when you live in a country, not when you go there for a week or 2 weeks, when you
Hmm.
live there for more than a year, um, you start understanding how cultures matter. And when I say
Yeah.
cultures, I mean cultural influences of a city, culture as in the people, not necessarily religions and things like that, but more how the people are with each other. You start seeing, it opens your eyes to a lot of that. So living in so many different countries and seeing even poverty in those different countries and seeing
Hmm.
opulence in those different countries, you start seeing that there's always a gap, right? And Bitcoin, what this has informed me on Bitcoin was that you're going to need a tool to take you from A to B, right? From poverty out of poverty, from to get to opulence, to get to understanding what is sustainability and things like that. Bitcoin, for me, has that same factor of changing your life in a way of things you never thought about or didn't know now influence your life in a more hopefully positive outlook and a
Yeah.
positive way for you moving forward. So I don't just say, Chinese people are everywhere. I'm like, dude, do you know how many Chinese people are in China? Do you know how, like, you start seeing the why of things instead of the outsider
Yeah.
narrative that you've been told, right? And yeah, things
Hmm.
like that. So for Bitcoin, because it comes from so many different aspects, you start living healthier because you want to be here in 10 years, 20 years. So you're
Yep.
not
Yep.
eating canola oils and all of these crazy things. You're like, how can I change my diet but still enjoy myself type of things? And it's
Hmm.
that type of thing with, yeah, living in different countries too. So I think that would
Yeah.
be the answer.
Yeah. 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 Yep. Okay. With all the noise in and around the Bitcoin space, how do you, Okin, stay grounded?
I go outside. Like you have to remember, a lot of these people don't have friends. They don't speak to people. No, seriously. Because the thing is, I had to remind myself like a lot of Bitcoiners are hardcore nerds. Like hardcore nerds. These were the guys that didn't get invited to parties at school. They didn't go out. I was at the parties, bro. I was chilling. Like I was a musician. Like we did ours. So
And
like for me,
singing and writing poetry.
go live life. I go to the bar. I
Yeah.
go talk with friends. I go see people's kids and like buy them presents. And I go, play with my dogs. Like some of these people are just too much on Twitter. So that's how I stay grounded. I just go do other stuff. Like, there's life to be lived.
Yeah.
And I think people need to
Yeah.
remember that. There's actual life out there.
Yeah. Outside. Um, what is your favorite thing to eat for lunch? Because you're always posting your lunch as well.
Oh man, that depends on the day. Like if I was out with friends and I'm a bit hungover, it's definitely fish, like hake and chips. Amazing at a
Oh.
spot that accepts Bitcoin around the corner from me. Ribs, ribs. I love ribs. I just love food, bro. No, ramen noodles, at least once a
Ramen
week. Cold
noodles?
ramen noodles once a week. Oh, love it.
That's
I
your
told you Chinese
favorite?
food. Yes, but that's Japanese, not Chinese. But yes, also, yeah, that's another contentious subject. Who invented noodles? Because it wasn't the Italians.
No, I always learned that it was the Chinese who invented
Yep,
noodles.
yep. The
Yeah.
Italians took it from them.
If you're Italian and you're watching and you would like to contest this fact, please come on.
Do it. Get on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Who is one person you would like to see orange pilled?
Wow. Wow. um, Probably the Namibian Minister of Energy, Mines and Energy.
Oh,
Like,
not
when
even
he gets,
finance, but
we're
energy.
about to mine heavy up in here with Bitcoin then. Because everything is about Namibia's green hydrogen energy, solar energy, wind energy. So,
Hmm.
like, come on, why not? Let's mine. Let's do it. I'm ready to help. Like, but yeah, it's difficult to
Okay,
get him on the phone.
once we get through the questions, I have a bonus question about mining. Please remind me.
Okay, I'll try.
Um, yeah, remind me. So, how is the Bitcoin scene in Namibia overall?
I would say a lot better than it was 3 years ago when I started this journey of really trying to educate people. And I took it upon I was like, nah, man, people need to know what's going on. Like, let's throw events. Let's do more people are. So at the beginning, it was like becoming full doesn't want to talk to people. He's been trying to orange pill people since 2012. He's tired. Like, he's like, I'm just going to build the stuff. You guys can use the tool.
12 years
But I was
later.
like, no, I'll go out and I'll do it. And after like 3 years, like I'm talking about almost every day talking about Bitcoin, my friends are now starting to tell other people about Bitcoin. Like somebody saying something crap, I'll be like, no, don't talk shit. You're talking shit. This is how it works. This is how I use Bitcoin. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit and watch this go down. I'm not saying a word. And so it's getting to a point where through people's utility, they're starting to tell their family members, their friends, their circles. So I always say you need more messengers than one, right? You want to move the message, you can't just have one messenger. So it's
Yeah.
getting there. In that sense, a lot of people are starting to see the utility. They're also like, wait, but Okin's not broke. He used to be a broke artist. He's not broke. So what's going on here? Like, he's out, he's buying people drinks, he's buying pizzas, he's doing things. What is this Bitcoin thing really about? So like, again, you got to show people your proof of work in public and then they'll
Yeah.
see and be like, okay, maybe there's something to this instead of just words. Words are cool, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's growing.
Uh, it's moving forward. What is your favorite music, Mr. Musician?
So a lot of people would
If
think
you
it's hip
have
hop.
one
I do
favorite
love hip hop.
music.
I do love hip hop. But my favorite music to cook to listen to while I'm working or reading, is definitely jazz. I'm definitely a jazz guy. Trumpets, love that sad trumpet. Oh my God, that's that old school New York feel. I love that. I'm a jazz person.
Hmm. I could see you in a Spike Lee movie, like a Spike Lee movie from like the early '90s or something.
Yeah, I think I could do that. One of those. I think Spike, if you're watching, I'll let me, bro.
For real. And then you can recite a poem in the movie as well.
I'm always ready to do one of those.
The clap clap. Okay. Oh yes. So recently you were on NBC Namibia. What was it like talking in a studio like that about Bitcoin?
Yeah, so NBC was Good Morning Namibia. It happens literally every morning. They have different segments. It used to only be on Fridays. I've been on it before with Black Vulcanite. We've been on there a couple of times. I'm pretty comfortable in front of the camera. Um, Even when I was a kid, when my dad was Director General of NBC back in the 90s, like I was
You're
on
just
TV like
dropping these
using computers.
gems.
Well, my dad
Rolling
was
Stone. My
minister. He
dad
was
was
he was
Director General of NBC. Like,
he was he
who are
was he
you?
was a deputy minister. Well, if you want to know, like that's what I'm always saying. I'm comfortable talking to politicians. My dad was the first deputy minister of information and technology in in the Namibian first Namibian cabinet after independence. So after 1990 till about 95, and then he retired and he moved to NBC. And then my mother was deputy minister of youth sport and national services after she left the Olympic Committee because she was like the president of the Olympic Committee for like 15 years. And then the president called her up and was like, we need you in sports here. And now she's the minister of youth sport and national service. So I'm the only person I know of in the world who both parents were deputy ministers and one became a minister. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
I've
real.
always been.
And a
So yeah,
Bitcoiner.
I'm
I
comfortable in
think
front of
that
the camera.
trio is tough to match.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So yeah.
So What is something Bitcoin cannot fix?
Human nature.
Mm-hmm.
Human nature. The indoctrinated nature we got from I don't know when that told us for me to win, you need to lose. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is the one of the biggest lies ever told. We can collaborate. All great inventions come from collaborations. All great innovations are
Yep.
collaborations. Like it's not trying to downcharge somebody. Like that's loser mentality. And we've been thinking like losers for too
Yep.
long. And I don't know if Bitcoin can fix that one.
Yep. I actually think traveling helps to reshape someone's
Yeah.
nature, definitely. Because you
Yeah.
go to another country and you see people doing things differently, or you see them describing the same object in a different way, or the way they approach food, for example. And you're like,
Mhm.
hey, wait a minute. They're doing it differently and they're just fine. So perhaps there's something more to this.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you fully, wholeheartedly.
So, last question. Well, and then there will be the
And
bonus
then the
question.
mining
Last
one.
question. What does sovereignty mean to you?
Freedom. True,
Yeah.
unabridged freedom. That's what
Yeah.
sovereignty is. But again, we should probably preface that by saying um, it's responsible freedom. Like you are responsible for your freedom when you are sovereign. You can't go and be
Yeah.
like, oh, but you didn't help me with no, bro, you're sovereign. You do that by you. Like you're doing all of it
Hmm.
yourself. So you have to take the responsibility to understand like the pitfalls, the security measures, all those things that you have to know. But yeah, freedom.
Yeah. I agree. And the bonus question, going back to mining,
Yeah.
I'm in touch with Cal Casa, who'll hopefully do a presentation at our Geneva Bitcoin meetup to speak about Ethiopia mining.
Yeah.
Do you think that because this is a big, I think it's big news. Do you think that that could incite the Namibian government or other African countries to follow in a similar path?
That is my truest hope and desire. I think once and African countries start realizing that just the same way we look at oil, gold, diamonds as our
Yeah.
natural resources, Bitcoin mining allows us to not only utilize our natural resources in a way where we can monetize it very easily in the hardest and most wanted asset in the world, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time, it helps us spread electrical grids to places that weren't possible before because nobody was there to buy up that electricity. Now you can put Bitcoin miners right next to it and you can generate that electricity and give the offshoots, also switching off the miners at certain times. Now you're electrifying communities. So things like that, I think, is when Africans, my fellow Africans, if you are listening, start thinking along these lines. This is how
Yeah.
we literally add another class of resource to
Yeah.
every African country. And we will get buyers for our Bitcoins. There's always a buyer for Bitcoin. Always. And
Yeah,
electricity.
definitely. Like gridless in Kenya on a smaller scale compared to
Oh,
my understanding of what's happening in Ethiopia. It's like gradually, then suddenly it seems to be,
yeah.
grabbing people's
Yeah.
attention.
It is. And I think Kenya itself as a country is looking more and more like they're gonna jump and be like, bro, let's mine. Where we at? Let's go. Because they got
Hmm.
they got a lot of hydro, man. Hydro is great. We're in
Yep.
Namibia, we're a desert country. We don't have a lot of hydro except for the ocean. And we can do the desalination thing. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can utilize resources that you have to mine Bitcoin with. It's just take somebody thinking, oh, could put a miner there.
For real. Well, Okin, you've answered more than 21 questions. Thank you. Before we close out, can you remind people where to find you on social media?
Awesome. Yeah, so I have the same handle everywhere. I make it easy for people. So that's Okin, that's Okin _17. And that's on Twitter, that's on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. LinkedIn, you'll use my real name, Nikolai Tjongarero. That's about it. I think that's all the social. And Noster, you can just find me on my NPub. It's on my Twitter somewhere, I
Yeah,
think.
definitely.
Yeah,
All
but it
right,
should be
thank
Okin as
you.
well. Easy sense.
I think I've searched for you on Nostr in the past. I think it's Okin.
Yeah,
I
it
think
should
it's
be
Okin
Okin
17
or
if
it's
I
Easy
search.
Sets. It can only be one of those two. I've got
Yeah.
that little
But
picture
check
with
out his
you.
Twitter profile. Do you say Twitter or X? Have you started saying X?
I'm not saying X. What? No way. I've been on Twitter since 2009, Sonny. I'm not saying X. I'm an OG Twitter user. Also, I did my honors degree. My dissertation was on social media and its impact on the bottom line of businesses. So I've been this whole social media thing for a while.
He's
So yeah,
done
Twitter. I'm
everything.
not saying X, guys. It's crazy.
Absolutely everything. Well done. All right, Okin, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye bye.